You are tuned in to episode 56 for the Goodfellas podcast. Yo, it's G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru in the building. I'm solo for the moment, but will not be solo for long. Boxing First Vlog and VP Shane will be in here momentarily. Big shout out to everybody, to the whole G5 Jeff TV gang. We got a whole lot to talk about. Got my main man up in here.
What's going
Actually
on?
live from the channel. Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt, aka Blunt Bayless, aka Mr. 1K. What's going on, bro?
Shoot, man, just another blessed day. Talk this boxing. Going over Thurman situation again, and you know what I mean. Just ready to, I
Absolutely.
guess, finalize it. I guess you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna make the announcement now. We ain't do a mic check. We good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
everything correct.
All right. Um, Matter of fact, let me send this real quick. Let the chat know we live real quick. Give me just a second. Um, what we got? All right, we right here. Okay, so Shane will be in here in a little bit. Um, just to let the people know, whenever we got anything new going on any of the platforms, whether it's G5 Jeff TV or Boxing First Vlog. We like to let y'all know live on this podcast. Before I make my announcements, Vlog, let the people know the new videos that you've dropped on the channel because I've seen a couple of them.
Oh man, I do so much work, bro. I can't even tell you. I got to go check and tell you. I know the last one. I think
So welterweight joint, with top 10
yeah,
welterweight.
I added a couple guys that could be maybe mixed and matched towards the latter end of that welterweight division.
Yeah,
So I thought I expanded on the list that was brought up by Joe Goosen and Sean Porter just a little bit, but my 1-2,
yeah,
you know how I do.
yeah. Um, so I need for people to go over the Boxing First Vlog and first of all, hit the subscribe button. It don't stop at 1K. So definitely hit the subscribe button and make sure you tap into the videos, like the video, share the video, do what you
Or
gotta do.
dislike them. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah, it shows.
disagree, I take
Yeah,
constructive
I
criticism properly.
hey, listen. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button twice. If you don't know what that means, try it. Um, you know what I mean? But just to announce, man, just not a huge announcement, but it's big enough announcement. We have upgraded, our situation, our reach in terms of who actually sees this actual podcast. Um, and this is not bragging or anything. This is just basically what has been told by us, told to us by not only other channels, but just other people that watch it. And we feel this way. Like we feel like we had the best podcast, period. We just need for people to catch up. You know what I'm saying? So just the announcement is Goodfellas podcast from here on out will be streaming on the following platforms. We'll be streaming on Boxing First Vlogs YouTube channel. Number one. Number two, the standard places, my Twitter, my Facebook page. It'll also be on the G5 Jeff TV Facebook page. It's also going to be on Twitch, and it's also going to be on the backup channel for G5 Jeff TV. So that's 7 different places you can actually see it. And then we're working something out where each and every podcast is actually going to stream on the website. So, we're reaching out to a bunch of different places. That's not counting what we have coming up. Um, but just to let y'all know, we went from being seen in 3 locations to possibly 8 and 7 as of this moment. So I think that's a big step. There's not many podcasts where you can see it in 7 different places. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely a big move. Um, you know what I'm saying? So definitely want to put that out there. Um, Yo, for the people that's in here listening right now, put a one in if you can hear us. Edwin Castillo in the building. What's going on? He said, Jeff and Vlog, what's up, my guys in the house? Edwin, it's always good to see you in the building, good brother. Wouldn't be a show without you for sure. So we definitely appreciate you stopping through. Um, Before we get started, this is kind of going to be a part 2 to yesterday's podcast. Brother couldn't find his charger, and it just Emmanuel Tagle took over the podcast about half the show, so we got to bounce back. There's so many topics we had to do a part 2. We still didn't touch on Keith Thurman. We didn't touch on the Keith Thurman fight. We didn't touch on the Santa Cruz fight. We got Ugas and Ugas suspense just got announced earlier today. Adrian with the one. Big shout out to you, Adrian, man. What's up to you, bro? So we got a lot to talk about. But I know Shane wanted to talk about Keith Thurman. We can double back to Keith Thurman when he gets in here, but I actually want to talk about Keith Thurman right now. How did you feel about his performance? Like what you seen versus your expectations going into the fight with Thurman and Barrios?
I gotta be honest and see a little smidgen of power still there.
Mm-hmm.
A little smidgen. Something you gotta be leery of if you're, I would say, a B tier fighter. I'm not gonna be honest. I don't think that's the kind of power that could knock out Sean Porter right now, or Ugas or something like that. Barrios, we've seen him rock before, but it takes a lot to get him out of there, and obviously Thurman don't have that. So I don't know if that's a knock or that's good credit for him even being able to go the distance, 12 rounds at the age and being gone for 2 years, whatever. So I'm not like downgrading him any, but I'm not upgrading him at all either. So okay. I'm kind of where I was already at. He cool. He a good name.
Okay. VP Shane, aka Ice Cold Shane, in the building. What's going on, bro?
What's up, man? What's up, Ron?
Bro, Keith Thurman is the topic. What was your thoughts on Keith Thurman after watching the fight versus your thoughts going into the fight?
I mean, firstly, I was happy the fact that he didn't stop him. The first thing I was happy with. After the first 3 rounds, I had thought to myself, Thurman looked quick. He looked slick. His in and out game looked strong to me. He was landing his power punches at a very good rate. Like he wasn't missing a lot of shots. I know Barrios isn't the greatest defensively, but he was doing a lot of clean work with his punches in the first 5 rounds. I would say after Virgil Hunter, was it? I think his coach is Virgil Hunter, right? It's Virgil Hunter? Barrios. Coach.
Is
Virgil Hunter.
It's Virgil, right?
It's Virgil. After Virgil Hunter told him, when he made the adjustment to tell him to go forward, and instead of stepping out when Thurman's going forward, actually go forward with it, that's what made the difference for me. Because once Barrios started to go forward and try to match fire with fire, yes, he was getting hit, but Thurman wasn't trying to get hit. So Thurman wasn't putting the same shots on. He was more thinking about getting my shot off and leaving, which meant that he didn't have the same steam on his punches. And then once Barrios got Thurman hurt, I think it was in the 8th round, it just was a straightforward fight from there. Thurman saw the finish line and he just boxed to a 12 round decision. But I didn't see the ring rust that I thought I would see. I didn't see the fragilities that I thought I would see from Thurman. So I thought it was an overall decent performance. Obviously the punch power, but I never thought the punch power was there in the first place. But I think if he had 8-ounce gloves, it might have been different. But he doesn't have the killer. That's one thing I will say. He doesn't have that killer that the Terence Crawford has, or the Boots has, or the Virgil Ortiz has. That killer. When you got someone hurt, get rid of them. You don't have that.
What scares me is if he's matched up wrong here late in his career. I'm gonna be honest. You don't want to see a Stan Jonas or a Budabayev type of young grizzly bear. I mean, you got to have a double barrel in there, sawed off, and smack them in the face with it to keep a dog like that off you. So I seen a little bit where once you meet his fire and you accept his power, he's in okay. Let me just stay from getting myself knocked out mode. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. That's a fact. Because when I saw it, bro, it seemed like as soon as Barrios made the conscious decision to actually go forward after Thurman lands his power punches, Thurman decided to take his foot off the gas. And I feel like it's very similar to when he fought Pacquiao. Like when he fought Pacquiao, he was going forward, and then Pacquiao was just catching him in transition and trying to follow him out the back door. And that's how he got the first knockdown. Barrios, in the first 2 rounds, was actually giving Thurman space to land his power punches. And then after he landed his power punches, Barrios was stepping back. So Thurman didn't have to worry about what was coming back at him. Whereas once Barrios made that decision to go forward, Thurman didn't have that sting. He didn't have that, what's it called? That killer power or killer move to just wipe a dude out. So I agree with Blunt on that
one. Yeah, I had to like I watched the fight again, and I think I had to like go back and actually pay attention to my expectations of Thurman. I've never thought of Thurman outside of being a top 5 guy at 147. The fact that he's been out the ring so long, going into the fight, I'm still thinking top 5 Thurman. Any other person that had a 2-year layoff and they come back into the ring, I'm expecting for them to go through a process to get back to wherever they were prior to the layoff.
Can I ask you a question, Jeff? I know it's not the same, and I asked Blunt the same thing as well. I know it's not the same circumstances, but when Fury came back after 3 years, did you see him as a top 5 heavyweight?
No. Not only did I not see him at a top 5 heavyweight, I didn't know what I was going to see out of him, period, because of because what he was going through during that layoff. So you didn't know what you was going to get with him. So his situation, like you said, is different. His was definitely different. I didn't see him as a top 5 guy at heavyweight at all. That's why I didn't agree with Wilder taking the fight to begin with. I understood why on the back end, but that's why I was just like, I didn't think he was worthy of the opportunity.
The reason why I asked that question, Jeff, and I'm gonna let Blunt answer in a second, but the reason why I asked that question is because he came back after layoff, and I know it was different, and he wasn't top 5. But the difference with Fury was during his hiatus, there wasn't many fighters who came through that could take his place. Whereas in Thurman's case, there's a lot of fighters who's come through, like Blunt's just referenced, Stan Jonas, Butayev, Boots, Ortiz, Errol, Crawford. There's a few dudes that are there. I mean, you could even Udinis Ugas, you could even say Conor Benn to a certain degree. So there's a few dudes who's come through and they've, you got to earn that space in the top 5 again.
Well, I mean, right now, the way Thurman fought against Barrios, if he's fighting that way, like if he's made the determining factor that that's how he's gonna fight every single fight, yeah, there are a lot of guys that's come in into 147 since his hiatus. But even though the performance that he had against Barrios, it wasn't an A performance. to me. I would say it was I would give him a solid B for the performance. If he's fighting like that for the rest of his career and that's what he's sticking to, um, there's some guys that you mentioned on that list that Thurman beats right now. There's a couple of them in that list that he beats right now. Like Conor Ben's not beating Keith Thurman right now. He's not beating him right now. If Vlog, you can definitely chime in because I seen your face. Go ahead. You think Conor Ben is beating Thurman?
I'm going to let you finish your soliloquy, and then I was going to chime in.
No,
I don't
I'm
want
gonna,
to stop
I'm
you
gonna,
from all
I'm
your
gonna.
names.
No, no,
I don't
no.
want you to stop with your names. Finish.
I
Your
have no. I have my names in my head, so I'm not gonna forget them. I seen your face. I
I'm
seen your face. So
gonna be honest, bro. That
if you think
performance.
Thurman, if you think Conor Ben can beat Thurman right now, I actually want to hear it.
Yes,
You think Conor Ben can beat
I
Thurman
think
right
he
now?
walks him down.
Right now.
That's what I meant earlier when I meant that veracity that a young, real solid middleweight. I mean, welterweight to bring people. See, you're dealing with a tall guy that was still putting on some weight, so he actually looked bigger. But he was never really a killer in the ring in the first place in his own right. A solid fighter. No disrespect to Mario Barrios, but if you had the wrong game plan coming in where you was going to play the outside and you was going to play pitch and catch with Thurman, of course you're going to lose that on the scorecard because you don't have the name to carry the same weight as a Thurman. And again, when you change the game plan and your coach finally implemented something different, it actually worked better for you, but you was taking a lot of heat too. So was it worth it? I don't know. I mean, I didn't cash the check for him, so it may have been worth it. I'm not feeling how he feeling after the fight. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, best of luck to him. But again, it was a setup, and it was a table set for him, but he didn't clear the table. That's all I'm gonna say. And if you dealing with these up and coming dudes, I'm being honest, he looked like cake, bro, and a bag. I'm telling you, Budabayev and all them dudes was like, man, I'm a dog walk this dude in 7. They gonna walk him down in 7.
I didn't. No, I respect that. I respect that because Thurman has put himself in that position where he has to deal with people that's going to think like that. When you've only seen a person one time in over 2 years, then yeah, you won't get opinions like that. So under
But no,
normal circumstances,
I'm going off of past performances. He does that. He feels like he's up, and then he start playing the outside in his own right. Whereas though I'm like he did it with Josecito Lopez, almost gave that fight away in my estimation. You see what I'm saying? So you do that with a guy that's a real killer, that's putting all that point shit out the window. And he got damaged. He took his face wasn't looking like he was in there. With a guy that's really a junior welterweight. He took some damage from a guy that's not really a big puncher. So you get in, like I said, you get in there with a dude like Boots who's hella accurate. Man, Boots ain't gonna give you a chance to play that in and out game. Boots gonna get on you, stay on you, and box while doing that. Boots is not just gonna open himself up. But then you got a dude like Butayev. He will. All right, bro, get yours off. And when I'm finished, we'll see how you feel. That's a Butayev mentality. And towards the future, I'm not saying Thurman can't win any of these fights. He possibly can win one or two of those fights I aforementioned, but at the same time, being honest, for we do eye tests. He looked like cake, bro, and a bag. So their mouth gonna be sticky, and somebody gonna be counting their money behind them. So you feel me? I just feel like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? He a veteran. You start falling in those categories at certain points in your career.
well, no, I mean if that's how you feel, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when guys are getting, you know, kind of, they're in the back half of their prime and getting ready to get out of their prime, these are the questions that they're gonna have to deal with. So ultimately, these are questions that Thurman is gonna have to answer. For me, just off top, he doesn't beat the Spence right now. He doesn't beat the Crawford. He doesn't beat the Boots. Like that's those are the three obvious choices where he's not winning those fights. You
Name
take
for
that.
you. I got a name for you, and I know you know it. Does he beat Cody Crawley right now?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Crowley is not. I know Crowley just came off a good performance, but I'm a big fan of guys with experience, and he still got fit. Like Thurman's still physically talented. He's still physically talented. I haven't seen him deteriorate in terms of just the foot movement, the quickness, and things like that. He still had that going on. So that was really the main thing I was looking for. I didn't agree with the 10-ounce glove thing. I didn't really like that. To be honest with you.
So who? Hold up, answer me this: who you think insisted on that?
General thinking you would think it was Barrios, but from what I heard, it was Thurman.
That's my point exactly,
So
bro.
I
He's
don't.
also trying to get protected
So
at these points in his career. He's looking for them
so
different edges.
I gotta look a little bit further and see. I have to look a little bit further and see who actually requested that or how that went about. Um, but that's a problem. Um, Outside of those three that I mentioned, the next stash of people is probably Ugas, Batayev, and Stanionis. Stanionis and Batayev, they're not very experienced. They're good fighters, but they're not really experienced. They're going through the process of getting their experience. So that's one of those things where if they could pull off a victory versus Thurman, like they would have to show me. They would have to show me they can do it. Based off of Thurman's experience and his physical talent, he will come in with
Bro,
the
you act
advantage
like
against both
Thurman
guys.
out there.
So I just sometimes and Thurman brings this on himself. These layoffs causes these conversations that we're having right now. Because if he was active, we're not having this conversation. So he's the reason why we're having this conversation. If he's active, we're not mentioning Stan Jonas and Batayev in the same sentence with this dude. But when you're taking 2 years off, that's what it is.
Fuckers, man, fuck that shit. I'm asking because I'm looking at Styles, bro. I understand he looked good. Okay, that's cool. But his style will not beat the style that these young cats are bringing. I disagree with you saying experience and you holding that against them. I per se overlook the experience and say your style is your style. And that style that these young cats have, more or less Butayev in a boots. And then I could go back door and even say the boy Alexander Disputin. I hope that's right. So I mean those sort of aggressive styles, and Disputin being the best boxer between Butayev and himself, but they both good bangers and just that relentless style, bro. You know, quote unquote Mexican style. I don't think at this stage in Thurman's career, his boxing ability that we saw won't keep one of those dogs off of him. So I'm holding which he showed me against him, not like okay, you know, he's never been a great dude at welterweight, never been a top 3 dude, something like that. Been a world champion, unified, all of that. Respect to him, but this is a different era, and the position you find yourself in now is just a marquee guy, hoping to maintain. Maybe you know what I'm saying. Maybe get lucky.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's that's 147 is building up to these young pups versus these vets, and if Al is smart, that's how he would flip this.
But I wanted to ask you though. Do you think Thurman was moving better than Jamal James?
Yeah,
the movement. You think Thurman was moving better than James?
James is moving. I'm gonna tell you why I say that. Jamal James was moving as if he had good movement, but he was moving like he was nervous. He was
It was
moving like he was trying to
it
avoid
was
trouble. Hold on,
it was
Shane. Shane, hold on a minute. He was moving like he was nervous. Like the energy looked like it was nervous energy, even though he was moving well. Looked like his energy was a little, That's the only reason I'm saying Thurman movement was better. His look more strategic versus him being nervous. You know what I mean?
All right, got another name for you.
Okay.
You think Martin could pull off an upset against a guy like Thurman? The Thurman we just saw.
No. Matter of fact, Shane, go, and then I actually want to respond to vlog. Shane, go ahead, Shane.
In response to what statement? The Sandor Martin fight.
The Martin fight, yeah.
Sandor Martin doesn't have enough offense to beat Thurman. His offense isn't good enough to beat Thurman. If Thurman goes on his bike and Martin goes on his bike, the person who's going to land the cleaner punches is going to be the one who wins.
Shane, I gotta kind of disagree with you right there. He didn't show excellent offense against Mikey Garcia.
He didn't have to because he was on a back foot, so it doesn't make a difference. When someone's coming towards you, you don't have to worry about your punches because you don't have to set much shots off. Their shots up, they're doing most of the work for you. If the dude's going to be right in front of you the whole night, all you need to do is make sure your shots are straight down the line. When someone's on the back foot, you got to find a way to set up these punches.
So that's why I'm asking you. You saying he did good on the back foot, correct? Is Thurman not a front foot fighter when he believes he has the lead and he's the bull in the fight?
Not in my opinion. Not in my opinion. I ain't seen Thurman fight on the back foot in years. On the front foot in years.
I said, doesn't that help Sander when you talking styles? With Thurman playing the front foot, Sander being a decent back foot boxer and a decent back foot, front foot fighter. First of all, he got 39 victories. I don't think 39 people came after him. So at some point in his career, he was the aggressor. So that being said, in this particular matchup, don't you think that would work for him to let Thurman work?
No, because I don't think Thurman's gonna come forward. That's my point. I think Thurman's gonna fight in reverse. That's my point.
Okay.
Sandor Martin. Mikey Garcia is not hard to find. I think we can all agree on that. So if Martin is going to have a supreme offensive night, it would be against a guy that's pretty much a stationary target like a Mikey Garcia. And listen, credit to Martin because he wasn't supposed to win that fight. Like he wasn't supposed to win that fight, and he came in, he did his thing, he clearly won that fight. I see you talking, Shane. With you on mute, baby.
No, I said facts.
Okay, yeah. He did what he had to do. As far as I'm concerned, that's the only time I've seen him on that level, and he did a good job. The only reason I would say he doesn't beat Thurman is because I'm huge on guys that have shown me they can perform under them lights. Thurman has shown that throughout his career. Martin, I have to show me. I'm not saying he can't pull it off. He goes in that category. Like I'm not gonna believe it until he shows me.
But Thurman won't stop him though. Thurman won't stop him.
Thurman not gonna stop him.
Bro, he just did against Mikey Garcia. Like how many likes do you need, Jeff? How many? Bro, I mean, first of all, this is another dude. Hold up, Jeff. Let me get mine off, bro. This is another dude that has a lot of work that again we visually haven't seen. Because first, I know you haven't sat down and looked up the work that's actually out, maybe just on YouTube on Sandor Martin. So you haven't seen a lot of things of him. Don't mean he not good, bro. Don't mean,
bro. You keep saying that. You keep throwing that my way. I don't ever say these guys are not good. I don't ever say that.
You're saying it as if what he's already done isn't verified that he can stand with a dude like Thurman.
I didn't say he couldn't. That's what I'm saying. You keep saying we keep having these debates, and you keep saying that I'm saying that, and I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I said because he hasn't, and it's not his fault. He hasn't had enough opportunities against big time guys to actually show what he can do. So when
there's no big time guys over there. There's no big time guys from Spain. There's no big time guys from
not at the level of Thurman.
Because you said now you're using the term big time. So yesterday,
but the thing is, you're offering me these questions, but you won't answer your own questions. Who in Spain has he fought? Who has he fought that's big time outside of Mikey?
I don't live over there, so I can't tell you
exactly my point. So how you can't answer your own question, but you throwing it my way though?
I'm throwing it your way because you're using it as if he's not seen. He hasn't been big time because he hasn't been seen by somebody from this region.
Okay, but one second.
Yes,
one second.
Shane, hold on a second. So if I'm wrong, tell me who has he fought to make me wrong? Outside of Mikey.
Because you don't know the name and we don't know the name per se.
So I'm asking you, who am I? Right. If I'm wrong,
I can give you 39 names. Would you know any of them outside of Mikey Garcia? If I can,
which proves my point, bro. Wait.
One second, Blunt. 1 second. This is the problem that I've realized Blunt has. What you don't understand, Blunt, is Jeff can't give credit unless he sees it. So at the end of the day, none of us can. I can't just give credit. Wait. Let me finish what I'm saying. So when he's talking about in relation to Thurman, of course, his perspective on Thurman is going to be much more in depth than his perspective on Sandor Martin. Just like his perspective on Sandor Martin was less than Mikey. Doesn't mean Sandor can't win the fight, but he can't judge a fight on something that he hasn't seen. I don't understand how you expect.
That's all.
Expect Mikey. You expect just to.
You just saw
it. Right, but
once.
I seen it one vlog. I seen it one time. Vlog, you've been on this show with me 56 times. I have confidence in you because you've done this with me 56 times. If somebody comes on to this podcast for the first time, I'm not going to have the same expectations for them as I have for you because you've shown me. You understand what I'm saying? You've shown me.
I'm doing my homework, so I'm not vouching for things that I haven't done enough study on.
Bro,
educate me. I'm telling you, I've only seen. Hold on, Shane. I've only seen him fight Mikey Garcia. If you're telling me that I'm wrong, give me some fights that I can see that will prove me wrong. That's all I'm asking. If you say you did the homework, you know who he's fought. Tell me so I can watch.
All you gotta do is type in Sandor Martin, and you'll come up with a list of fights.
You told me, but you told me, you personally.
I'm not into the name thing. That's the difference between us. You looking for names.
There's a big difference between us. Vlog. You told me personally I was wrong. When you tell me that I'm wrong, I'm assuming you have some fights for me to watch to prove that I'm wrong. Don't tell me type up.
No, is good enough for me.
One fight convinces you. One fight convinces you.
Can I just convince me that he's not a factor for anybody in the top five?
Can I say one thing? Wait one second. One second. This is my point again. Just because we're reserving our opinion doesn't mean we're taking anything away from Sandor Martin. If I say you have to show me, it doesn't mean I'm saying you're not good enough. But it's the same thing we say about Boots. It's the same thing we say about Shakur. It's the same thing we say about these dudes who haven't shown us on a consistent level. And it's not their fault. It's just when you have it's everybody in their career. They have to have a certain amount of fights for you to see. And when you talk about the fighters in Spain, this is the thing. At the end of the day, we can't give an opinion on something that's on paper. You have to use your eyes. That's the only thing you can use. So I don't understand. Like, I'm not taking it away from Sandor Martin. I'm just saying he's going to have to show me like every other person that's ever fought. You have to show me.
He looked like a good fighter. He looks like a good fighter. He looked like a good fighter. Like A garbage fighter is not going to beat Mikey Garcia. I'm not.
And again,
When I say all of those things, vlog, I'm not saying I don't want you to think that I'm taking anything away from the man because I've only seen him once. I'm not doing that. You asked me a question: can he beat Keith Thurman? I said if he can, he's going to have to show me because I haven't seen him under them lights but one time. That's it. That's all I said.
That's a yes or no question.
I said no, so I said no. I said no.
Yeah,
He's not
that's
going to
what
beat
I'm
him.
saying. I disagree with you.
But
That's
bro,
I
listen. I get it, bro. You a fan of the underdog? I get it. I
I'm
get
a fan
it.
of skill, bro.
No, you a fan of the underdog,
unrecognized.
bro.
Skill
You a fan of that's the underdog, bro. That's the epitome of the underdog
to me. That's just because y'all don't believe in him. That doesn't make him the underdog in my estimation.
Bro, nobody's saying that we don't.
Not y'all, but the general public, just people that say, "Oh, this the favorite, this the underdog."
Bro, but the thing is, it's cool to make this opinion. Or would you put your bread on Sandor Martin?
Yeah, I would. Against Keith Thurman, yes, I would.
I reimburse you. I reimburse you.
But this is another thing, though. This is another thing that I feel like, Blunt, you do, and I find it so funny when you do it because you say, wait. You say that you're not the fan of the underdog, or you're the fan of the people with unrecognized skill. This is the point that I disagree with. You have this opinion about things, but we're very consistent. So when I said that the same thing just said about Sandor Martin, he said about Shakur, and he said about Boots. Why don't you have that same opinion when we talk about Shakur and when we talk about Boots? That's my point. Because there's many times Jeff has made...
you can't compare Boots to anybody, bro. You need to stop that eye test shit with Boots too, bro. Boots he's the future of boxing, bro. He is what you call like Ali-esque. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is the business, bro, all the way around, bro. I'm telling you, you know it, you've seen it. Y'all just don't believe it because he hasn't beaten Spence, because he hasn't beaten Thurman. This sort of thing.
I will say this, yeah. I'm not a religious boxing fan. I don't believe in faith, bro. I believe in fact. So I don't believe in faith. I don't have faith in no fighter.
I'm judging off of skill. That's all I can go on is a skill. That your record shows me. You're
going off faith. You're going off faith as well. I'll tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because you don't know that Boots has a good chin. You don't know that because he's never been hit by a puncher before.
Okay. Whatever you say. If you can't hit him, you can't hurt him. That's how we think from Philly.
But you don't know if he has a good chin. You don't know if he has a good chin. You don't know. You don't know if he has a good stamina. If he has good stamina, you don't know. That's safe,
bro. What are you talking about? If he dog walking everybody, his stamina takes him to the knockout. He good.
So what about when you're in the 9th round and the 10th round? You tell him he's never going to go to the top round in a fight before because he's the only fighter that will never go to the top round.
If he's been the distance, he don't make he don't make it a regular thing. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm just telling you, bro.
Vlog.
No, back to my boy Bayless. That's the contradictory dude.
That's cool. Yo, am I wrong for wanting to see a guy prove it, like in the ring? Am I wrong for that?
No, I think where we crossing paths is, I think when guys have a certain level of accomplishments, because they haven't been on the stage that we grew up watching, doesn't mean that stage isn't equivalent to the stage we grew up watching, isn't comparable, isn't compatible.
Well, I'll tell you my I can vibe with that. I can vibe with that.
That's where we really kind of like
right. So basically, okay, so you can look at a guy's resume and you can assume that he should be ready for a certain stage, for a certain opponent, things like that. You can make that assessment and make an educated guess, right? So once we make that educated guess, there's only one thing left to do. and that's to actually go in there and actually prove it. So
Yeah,
the
but
only
if
thing
you
that I
getting bucked,
want, the only thing I want to see is that I just want to see it. Like
I
that's all.
get
I don't take no credit from nobody. I'm just saying
it.
I just want to see it. So
Well,
I'm like, but vlog, I'm gonna give you credit. I'm gonna give you credit. I'm gonna give you credit. Thurman, like if Thurman wants to prove that he's like a top 3, top 4 guy, Sandor Martin, he should beat him 9-3, 10-2. He should beat him 9-3, 10-2 if he's that old Thurman. If he that old Thurman. If he's that old Thurman, he beats a Stanionis. If he's that old Thurman, he beats a Batayev. But we right there at that line where it's like I can look at Stanionis' resume and I could be like, yo, I think he's done enough to be in the ring with Keith Thurman. I can look at Batayev and I can say, you know what, he's shown me enough skill, physical skill, and boxing IQ to tell me he can hang with Keith Thurman. Sandor Martin, even though I had the small sample size, just that one fight, but because of the opponent, I have enough confidence to be like, yo, Sandor Martin will go in there and be competitive against Keith Thurman. Them being in the ring with him, being competitive is one thing. Actually beating him, that's where I'm like, I gotta see it. Everything before that, I give you all that. I give you all that. I give you all that. Like I respect everybody. I respect everybody's journey. And that's the problem with boxing, because we can look at a guy's record and we can see that he had 40 fights. And we talked about this off camera. The fact that we don't have the opportunity to actually see these people in these fights because you got different licenses and, you know, copyrights and all this and all that. And we just like, yo, we just trying to get some homework on these cats so we can make an educated guess as a boxing analyst and a boxing fan. And a lot of these guys, we don't get the opportunity to do so. So we're kind of talking in circles, but we kind of get into the same point. Like these fighters, it's not enough tape on these fighters for us to make the determination of whether they should be in a ring with a guy like a Keith Thurman.
And who gets to judge who gets to see this tape?
I can answer that. I can answer that. So the people that actually puts on these fights, like the promoters, you know, things like that, it's their job to create either a stream or some type of platform where it could be shown. That's why when they was going through the process of having fights on Facebook, like people really criticized it. And I'm like, no, a lot of these fights, if there was a big conglomerate like Facebook, if they wanted to show fights, period, let them show it. Cause I'm like, it puts boxing wherever you can put boxing, put it there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Sandor Martin has how many fights, bro? How many fights?
He got 40-something fights, bro.
Bro, he got 40-something fights, man. If I've only seen one, and I'm a hardcore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just,
you know, well, he was, like I said in my video, he was more of a beast at 140, where he was grabbing some European belts and things like that.
Right.
And I do believe he's still a factor because he doesn't have the wear and tear from his European tour that he was on, but he's from Europe, so it's not really.
So it's technically not right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but it goes to the point that boxing has a lot of this is a boxing problem. Like this is not a boxing first vlog versus G5 problem or vlog versus Shane problem. This is boxers need to be on camera. Fights need to be on camera. I don't care if it's at the YMCA. Let somebody record that shit and put that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to see what we actually working with. And that's the problem. So I'm like, vlogs shouldn't have to. I want for people to understand this. Vlogs shouldn't have to jump on camera and lobby for the unknown guy to prove to everybody else that they deserve an opportunity, because that's essentially what he's doing. He's a hardcore fan, and I'm like, even with you doing research, the fact that you got to go so hard to find the research to even do it's not good.
I wanted to add this, that a lot of the international writers, I mean, they don't really give you, like, they talk about the fighters such and such, this, that, and the third. They got 14 fights. They're not telling you, okay, this is a southpaw. He's a body puncher. They kind of give you a generalization. So a lot of the times when you trying to do research, you read not necessarily because you still haven't found out anything. So it's crazy. It's a lot of work, but you know, this is what we love. This is what we do.
That's just that's why I was saying, like, it's just these promoters and things like that, they need to reach out to guys like us, and of course I'm giving ourselves the plug, you know, but a lot of these local promoters and things like that, they need to work out, you know, deals with channels like ourselves, you know, to where we working out streaming deals where we can actually stream they fight cards live, or even give us the licensing to do a playback, like take a fight and we actually post it on the channel. We put advertisements on it. Y'all take y'all split. We take our split. Boxing needs to evolve. They need to embrace some of these quote unquote YouTube guys and social media guys. You actually need to use this to your advantage to get your fighters and your cards out there. And it's not being done. And we're not here just to be on a podcast and just be talking boxing. Like, we're trying to take it to the next level. We're trying to elevate. If y'all take advantage of this situation, like, to be honest with you, you do that with enough channels. I mean, Luis Ortiz and Charles Martin may not be pay-per-view. If you got enough spots where you actually streaming that thing, you getting advertising money, this, that, and the third, you may not have to put it on pay-per-view and take a risk of losing a bunch of money. When if you got me doing a fight, you got Vlog doing a fight, you got DT3 the Boom Man doing a fight, a couple other people doing the fight. When it comes down to it, I'm like, that might save you a pay-per-view. I'm like, you throwing us a bag and you pocketing some more money. That's advertising dollars. That's other things. Like, they need to really look. They need to really look into that for real. Let me get in the comments real quick. Edwin said part 2. Said, like, the negativity Shane displayed proved my point. I said, people that say I never heard of that fighter, they stick to a negative view already of that unknown fighter, then watch some fights of theirs to give a good solid assessment. So that's kind of similar to what you said at the end of the yesterday's podcast, and we just kind of just touched on that. I know you said that towards Shane, but we kind of just touched on that. Like, the big problem is a lot of these guys' fights, it's not on tape, and it's on the promoters, it's on these companies to reach out to guys like us to be able to stream these fights and give guys an opportunity to see your fighter. The reason why your fighter don't get no talk is because we don't ever see him. If you don't record the fights, how are we gonna see him? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's just how it goes. And that's a US problem, that's a UK problem, that's a Spain problem, that's a problem throughout the sport. It's a global sport. It's an African problem. All of that.
So, they got some good fighters over there too.
Absolutely.
They do a lot of training stuff, but I need to see your ring activity. I need to see what you're looking like when the bell ding. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
that glove hitting shit is cool. Show me what you doing when somebody trying to take your head off.
Shane, I guess you wasn't in here, but what I was saying was, a lot of these guys have records, and probably 70 to 80% of the fights that they have, we haven't seen. Because these promoters and these companies, they're not working out other deals with social media platforms, YouTube platforms, to actually have a stream for their fights. You know what I'm saying? And work out something. I'm like, it's a global sport, but to be honest with you, there's really only about, maybe outside of TV, like, there's only maybe about 4 or 5 outlets where you can actually go see a fight for a global sport. Like Fight TV, right? So you got Fight TV, you got DAZN, you got Fight TV, DAZN, you got.
They don't even necessarily count neither.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, but those are options where you can go see a fight, whether you pay for it or whatever the case may be.
That is the problem. Is that's similar to TV. That the reason why I say you can't even use those as an even example, which makes your statement true, but even more painfully true, is the fact that it's the same thing, which is DAZN and Fight TV only pick up specific fights.
You see my point? They only pick up specific fights. So even the cards that you're talking about, the ones in Spain or in Africa, like Blunt referenced or wherever, a lot of those fights ain't gonna get picked up by a Fight TV anyway.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That you're going right into my point. If they don't have those options, then they need to holler at a G5 Jeff TV. They need to holler at a Boxing First Vlog. They need to holler at a DT3 the Boom Man. They need to holler at a YSM Sports Media, where we're commanding a certain crowd whenever we come on. And if it's promoted correctly, then you can say, hey, this card. So take the card in Philly, right? Card in Philly, February 26th. Good card.
Is
Real
it
good
gonna be on
card.
TV?
Hell no. It's not going to be on TV. It's not going to be on Fight TV.
Not
None
even
of that.
Philly TV. Not even
Nope.
like a local station.
Nope. Unless you're in the building or somebody is streaming it from social media, you're not going to be able to see them fight.
I feel like we should end this conversation because I got a really good idea and I just don't want to say it on camera. So
I probably already gave some of it away. I don't know if it's the same convo we had off camera, but
similar.
Yeah. You know what? Let's get off of that. Let me get in the rest of these comments real quick. My God, Bruce Goals in the building, man. Definite family in the building, man. Big shout out to Bruce Goals. Edwin said Thurman looked pretty much the same, but taking the 2 years, it's an impressive return. Not an immediate title shot, but at least we could say he hasn't really lost a beat. He still has the same, weaknesses.
The problem is, it's not even sometimes, bro. You said something completely true, which is he doesn't look much different. In sport, stagnation is regression, which means when you stay in the same place, majority of the time in the sport, you go backwards. And in the welterweight division, unfortunately, is definitely the case because 2 years ago, 3 years ago, Boots weren't where he was, Ortiz wasn't where he was, Batayev wasn't where he was, Stanionis wasn't where he was. I can keep going. So
yeah.
Stagnation is regression.
He said it's insane though that if Thurman needs another tune-up type fight and not a rank win, then he is fully committed. Would a move up be a bad choice because there are a lot of guys on the come up? Go ahead, Vlog.
Thurman staying right where he at. If we don't see him in the title shot, it's gonna be him and Garcia too. Kind of already in the works from past conversations already put out there to the public. So
I don't know what the demand would be for that fight, but PBC has shown that they really don't care about demand. They're gonna put on whatever fights they feel is best.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So that may be the case. Mr. De Niro in the building. I don't think I've seen you before. If you're new, definitely subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Boxing First Vlog.
You might be watching it on vlogs channel.
He may be watching it. He may be watching it on
guys. Respect.
Might be watching it on Vlog's channel. You could be watching it on Facebook.
If you are watching it on Vlog's channel, I don't know if Jeff and Blunt already announced this, but this is the first live that we're actually doing from 2 different platforms. So
actually 7.
7 platforms.
So we're doing that. His is the main new one. Main new one.
7 platforms. We're streaming this on 7 platforms, but don't be surprised because what we got coming up in the next month, it's about that. That's
about to go up.
It's about to go up.
It's about to go up. So
drastically.
Yeah, but Mr. De Niro, before I get to your comment, at the current moment, is streaming on Boxing First Vlogs channel, my channel, my personal Facebook page, G5 Jeff TV Facebook page, on my Twitter, and also on Twitch. So that's 7 different platforms at the moment. Says salute, fellas. Honestly, I think Josh Taylor work over Thurman too. I think Regis might stop him too. Barrios was a safe fight. He's got no power. So, Mr. De Niro, I'm gonna say this again because of Keith Thurman's layoff. He has entertained these types of thoughts. So it is up to Keith Thurman to shut everybody up. That's really what it comes down to. But that's a good fight, though. Josh Taylor coming up to 47 to face Keith Thurman. That's a solid fight. That's a good fight. It's a good fight. And Josh Taylor got a shot in that fight, too. Definite shot in that fight. What you think, Shane?
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, what you think, Glove?
I mean, I guess you talking about an older Thurman, you know what I mean? So yeah,
Josh Taylor's probably favorite in that fight.
Yeah, I think he walk him down. And Taylor a killer, so he ain't like Barrios where he taking a long time. Josh kind of figure out 2-3 rounds and he foot on the gas, and they you know, they tend to make it happen. They more go forward early and often than late and later. You know what I'm saying?
Vlog avoided the proverbial ditch, and I'm glad he did. If you was going to make a pitch for Sander Martin and not make a pitch for Josh Taylor, I was going to call your ass out for sure. You avoided it though. You avoided it. You said what I thought you was going to say, and I like that. Yeah. L Dub, the plug in the building, man. One of the best doing it, man. Damn, Edwin. Shane is dead wrong. You can't give credit until you see it. There are casuals, haters, and just out of dislike for a certain fighter, they won't give credit until they see someone they want them to. He said, "While Shane is on the contradiction train at full speed."
Okay, so let me tell you why you're talking so much rubbish. Like, oh my gosh, Edwin. Honestly, this is probably the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. Like, I swear to God, yeah. Like, if you're gonna send corn properly, bro, because this is ridiculous. Sometimes I don't even like to entertain ignorance, but just because you said my name, I have to, bro. You're telling me I'm contradicting myself because I personally don't give credit until I see it. And your justification for this is because casuals don't give credit. Firstly, the reason why you've made a mistake is because you've already differentiated the difference between me and a casual by saying what casuals think and by saying what I think. Let me tell you the difference between my opinion and a casual's opinion. Firstly, a casual's opinion is based on something general consensus. My opinion is based on what I see. So if I tell you that I don't give credit to someone until I see it, and I'm applying the same logic to every fighter that I see, where is the contradiction? A casual will base their opinion based on specific fighters. So, for example, they will have one standard for Canelo, but a different standard for an Andrade. My standard is for everyone. So when I talk about Boots and I say Boots is the greatest fighter in terms of natural ability that I've ever seen, I still say there's things I want to see. It's the same thing I say about Martin. The same thing I say about Targu. It's the same thing I say about so many fighters. I'm very consistent with that. I refuse to give credit until I see it. I refuse. I'm not going to give you.
Do me a favor, Shane.
Go on.
Leave Targu name out your mouth.
I'm not mentioning Targu.
But this is
I'm fucking with you.
But Jeff, this is my point. Not with Blunt, but specifically. This is the thing. If I say a fighter that someone likes, if I use the same logic to a fighter that I personally like, why would you take it personal? It's something that I've said. If I say I want to see Boots get hit and see if he's got a chin, because eventually he's going to get hit before I say he's got a chin, and I say, oh, I want to see Sandor Martin in a certain fight because I want to see whatever happen, because I want to see him in a situation where, let's say he's fighting a dude who's going backwards. And Blunt brought up a good point. Sandor Martin probably has fought a dude who's fought in reverse that I haven't seen. I'm not going to give him credit for that because I didn't see it. It doesn't mean he can't do it, though. I'm not saying that Sandor Martin can't do it. Neither am I saying Targu can't do it. I'm saying until I see you do it, I am not going to give you that credit. That's the same thing I said about Shakur Stevenson.
I'll just do it. I'll just try to put a little something to support my guys. What I can say to help you with your foresight before you actually visually get to see it, because I just said foresight. Just look at them records. I mean, obviously, you get up in them 30s and, that win column like that. You're not fighting taxi cab drivers. You know what I'm saying? So,
you could be though.
Kind of give them a little foresight. Not y'all, but just people in general that'll see a Tagu and be like, well, who is this guy? They look him up. He got 31 wins. Oh, he ain't fought nobody. No, he just ain't fought nobody like y'all said that we haven't seen. Doesn't mean we can't kind of give him a sense of credit for the accomplishments he has done. I'm just not saying it's not directed to y'all, just in general.
But in a situation like that, I do feel like everyone has the right to find out if those people are cab drivers.
Yeah, I get it.
I got the right to investigate that. I gotta find out. I gotta find out if they cab drivers. So if he's 31 and 0,
charging us for this shit. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I'm saying.
We're not seeing this shit for free.
Yeah, we're not seeing it for free, and that's what I'm saying. Like when you have guys like a Sander Martin, he deserves to get paid because he's stepping in the ring. You understand what I'm saying? Tegu, the same thing, but it's like, but if you're go ahead, Shane.
People like Sando Martin, sorry to cut you off, Jeff.
No, you go.
They get more credit from me than a Boots. Targu will get more credit for me than someone than a Boots. Let me tell you why. Because my reservations for those dudes were very high. You see my point? So it's a case of when Sando Martin beat Mikey Garcia, I was like, you proved yourself to me. You proved yourself to me. Do you see my point? I can have an inkling about Boots, but at the end of the day, if I have no idea what you can do and you prove it to me like Shakur did, that's why, bro, my ratings for Shakur is higher than any other prospect or any other young dude under the age of 23 because they proved it.
You just brought up Shakur, and I got a question just since we on this particular guy. Now we brought up the African and not being able to see a lot of tape. Is there enough tape that the Burchell crew got that they think they can beat this guy and figure out that puzzle? Because Burchell got him next.
He knocked Natalia.
Yeah, on the 26.
Well, the thing is with Burchell, bro. The thing is with Burchell,
did they just announce that?
No, that's always been.
Really?
No, they just said it was.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was earlier today.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that fight.
I always knew Burchell was gonna be on that undercard.
I didn't know he was fighting Nakatalia though.
No, I didn't know he was fighting Nakatalia. I knew Burchell.
That's news to me. That's news to me.
But what I was gonna say in terms of Burchell, the reason why it doesn't really make much difference because Burchell fights the same way every fight. So at the end of the day, he already knows what he's got to do, bro. If either you get in that pocket and work, or you're gonna lose. That's Burchell, bro.
He doesn't. Burchell is not a plan B type guy.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it don't matter. It don't matter what the other guy's game plan is. He's not adjusting. His plan B is plan A harder. You know what I mean? With more effort. Like that's his plan B. Big shout out to the family, man. Stay ready, boxing.
Shout out to Stay Ready, man.
Edwin Castillo said, "Mr. De Niro, you want him to move down?" No, bro. All of them. When he mentioned all them names, they moving up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Edwin, he said, "You just said that if Boots is proving this and that, but you sound like a casual because you don't like Canelo. He's proven, but not to you. Who did you say you think beats him again?"
But wait. Let me ask you a question. Do you see where what he just said doesn't make any sense? Firstly, I said Boots hasn't proven that he has a good chin. I said he hasn't proven it. And secondly, you're talking about Canelo. I haven't even referenced Canelo once. My opinions on Canelo have nothing, literally nothing to do with what he does inside of the ring. Nothing. And I've never said that Canelo isn't an elite fighter. I just said he's not pound for pound number one. I never said he's not an elite fighter. He's an elite fighter to me. He's an elite fighter to me. I don't personally like him because he's had a drug test failure and also he's allowed to cherry pick opponents. That's what I believe. But at the same
Well,
time, I can't.
the problem we having with not putting them up there is we recognize undisputed. So that catapults you to our pound for pound list. Am I correct? So he actually is on the list. Am I correct?
I did. Yeah, I did. He's on the list, but he's not number one.
Okay. I just wanted to confirm for the people in the chat that he is on the list.
Bro, I've always said Canelo. No one can ever tell me that I've ever said Canelo's not an elite fighter. And in terms of who I said Canelo, who can beat Canelo, I personally said the people I believe can beat Canelo are dudes at a higher weight class. So the fact that I believe Canelo's the best at his weight class, I give him credit for that. But I do believe he's cherry picked, and that's just my opinion. That's it, bro.
Even with Canelo, quote unquote, cherry picking, Edwin, and this is to you, I say this all the time. You have to be good enough to cherry pick these type of guys, because the guys that he is beating probably beats the majority of the guys in the division.
No, that's
you know
a
what I'm
fact.
saying? So he's good enough. He's good enough to cherry pick. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
But he's an elite fighter. That's my point.
He's a good, very good fighter. He's a very good fighter. Very good fighter. So I'm like, everybody knows Canelo's asterisks. Everybody knows the asterisks. Like, we all know this. Outside of that, the man can fight. Like, the man can fight. The man can fight.
No one has ever come on here. No one has ever come on here and said this dude's not an elite fighter. Not me.
Or he's a bum or something. Like, nobody's ever said that. We all have the same asterisks for Canelo. We all have the same asterisks.
Literally, bro.
The man get busy in the ring. He get busy. It's just that one asterisk with him. That's it.
Nah, I got two. We had a better European tour than the fucking Temptations, bro. I'm telling you. So. I'm just, I stand on that right there.
Yeah, but that's what I said. Even the guys that was on that European tour, like I said, they probably beat 70 to 80% of the division. Yeah, you take Billy Joe, he beats probably about 80% of the guys at 168. You take a Caleb Plant, same thing. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be at a certain level to cherry pick those guys. And Edwin, that's the point I'm trying to make to you. So for Canelo, that was a Temptations type tour for him, but that's credit to him, though. That's credit to him. You know
I would. Again, there's an asterisk, but I agree with you.
Yeah,
it's still an asterisk.
Edwin, I just want for you. All we want is for you to acknowledge the asterisks, because I think sometimes with Canelo fans, they don't like to acknowledge the asterisks with Canelo. Like, they act like it never happened. It did happen. It did happen. And if I can give Big Baby Miller that smoke, if I can give Jean Pascal that smoke, and every other person that done tested positive for this, that, and the third, he's not exempt. So again, us three as a unit, we are very consistent when it comes down to that asterisk. Once that asterisk goes on,
I'm a still Jeff's line, bro. I'm a still Jeff's line. I believe every Canelo fan has more confidence in Canelo than Canelo has in himself. I believe that. I swear to God, I believe that.
No, that's 100% facts, because y'all will throw him up against a Benavidez, a Charlo. Y'all throw him up against Andre and everybody else, Peterbiev and everybody else. But you ask him, is he gonna fight them dudes? He gonna tell you no.
That dude fighting the goddamn cruiserweight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so that's what I'm saying.
But you asking for him to fight, so you should bro.
Yo, but that's why. But that's why I'm saying, like, Edwin, you can be a fan of a particular fighter, but because you're a fan, we're expecting for you to be the most honest out of everybody when it comes down to Canelo. You can't leave nothing out because you're a fan of his. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're expecting for you to be as honest as possible and to show every single aspect of Canelo's career from top to the bottom. You know what I mean? So because you're a fan, we have higher expectations for you, period. You know what I'm saying? So we just giving you responsibility as a fan. You said you are basing your analysis anecdotally. I think he used that word before. Mm-hmm. I brought up casuals, haters, and such because of your arguments are anecdotally ones. What they learn from, and here in America, the world is full of bums. Dude, I'm typing as I'm listening. I meant to say Books, Shakur, and others are unproven, but what fighters don't cherry pick There's good and bad cherry picking.
I can
He
tell you a
paid his
fighter that
dude.
don't cherry pick. I can tell you a fighter that don't cherry pick.
Go ahead.
Usyk. He's never cherry picked in his career, bro.
I agree. I agree. The one thing that I will say, Edwin, before I get to your last comment, is and this is more so not only Canelo, but just fighters, period. When guys are stepping up to the plate and fighting good competition, and they're either in a controversial fight or they take a L, us as fans and as media people, like, we can't throw them by the wayside. We can't throw them by the wayside. If they're taking a chance to fight some of the best competition out there, if they take a L, then we can't throw them by the wayside. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. There's gonna be some people that throw Abel Ramos to the side. He shouldn't be thrown to the side because number one, he didn't have to take Luke Santa Maria. He didn't have to take that fight. He could have just said, you know what, I'm just gonna wait for Josecito Lopez and I'm not fighting, period. He could have said that. He'd have been within his right. Luke Santa Maria, I talked to Blunt off camera. I said, bro, that's gonna be a tough fight for him. I said that's a competitive fight. I said that's a good fight. The fact that Abel Ramos took that fight on short notice, Santa Maria, he don't have a Tevin Farmer type style where it's just like crazy, but it is an adjustment. It's an adjustment. Whenever you switch opponents, it's an adjustment. At the end of the day, we shouldn't have to throw him by the wayside when Luke Santa Maria lost to Paul Kroll. We shouldn't have thrown Santa Maria to the side. This guy's got Abel Ramos has been in against some dogs. Luke Santa Maria been up against some dogs. When these guys is fighting dogs, when dogs is fighting dogs, whoever loses, get them some credit. And when they hop back on the saddle, go support them. Go support them. And that's why a lot of these fighters don't want to face other undefeated fighters and things like that because they're afraid that loss is going to knock them completely down the cliff.
That's what I was going to ask you. Mm-hmm. Jamal James, Keith Thurman.
Keith Thurman wins that fight for me.
I think Thurman wins that fight. And I like Jamal too. I like Jamal. But Tayev was just a bad matchup for him. But that's not saying that Jamal can't fight. Jamal can fight. That's just a bad matchup. It's a bad matchup for him. Because he wasn't able to get Batayev's attention from a power standpoint. And when you can't get a guy like Batayev's attention, he's like a tank. Like he's coming straight through the front door, kicking over the couch and everything else when he get up in there. And that's what happened. That's why I vlog when you asked me earlier about Jamal James' movement. His movement was good. It just didn't feel like it was strategic movement. It was kind of more like to kind of get out of the way, get out of harm's way. He wasn't really using the movement to really set nothing up or to have Batayev running the shots or things like that. I feel like there's wasted movement, and he did a lot of wasted movement in that fight. I think Keith Thurman wins that fight, but it's a competitive fight. Like, there's not a lot of guys I think Keith Thurman blows out like that's in the top like 20. I don't think he blows anybody out.
Keep running through them comments, Jeff.
I got you, bro. Said I think you said Zerto could beat him, but damn, does that guys have 0 top wins? Vlog, come on, bro. They were undefeated champions. He was cleared. Those others have multiple asterisks. Canelo has 1.
Personally, I said Zerto could beat him. I didn't say he will beat him. I said he could, which means he has a chance of beating him. Just because he has a fighting style that will make Canelo fight a style that he hasn't fought in years. Because Zerto's one of the few fighters that can get Canelo going in reverse. And the last time we saw Canelo go in reverse, he didn't win, which was against Golovkin in the first fight. That's why I said he could beat him. I didn't say he will. And to defend Blunt, regardless of whether you fail the drug test once or you fail the drug test 5 times, you still fail the drug test. And the reason why that's so important for me and for I assume the rest of the dudes on the panel is because one of the most legitimate wins in your career was Golovkin. And you failed the drugs test before that fight. So that's why it's always going to be important to us.
Yeah, Edwin, let me add this as well. Like we say on the show all the time, like you fail one drug test that gives everybody the green light to question everything you've ever done in your career. Now, what I will say about Canelo is there are some fighters that are Hall of Fame type fighters that has never fought under Vada.
Mhm.
I will say that man has fought under Vada. He's won under Vada, as far as we know, clean
Mhm.
both times.
Mhm.
So if he's on the road to recovery in terms of the asterisks will never be removed. But if it's to be diminished a little bit, if he fights Charlo and it's under Vada testing and he goes in, he wipes out Charlo, and he does another fight under Vada,
What I want to know
wipes out a
what
guy like
Edwin.
that's things that I
What does
can say,
Edwin
hey, listen,
Castillo? What does he want from us? Because we've already acknowledged he's an elite fighter. So what else does he want us to do? Does he want us to be a fan? I don't
well,
understand what he wants. Does he want us to
well,
put in pound for pound number one? I
I
don't know what he actually
I
wants.
just Edwin, the thing is, I'm like, there's certain guys when you're at the top, when you at the top of the sport, man, I just have high expectations in and out the ring. I have high expectations in and out the ring, man, and that's just my like if I feel like you're elite, I have high expectations. Like I feel like Shane is elite at what he does, so I just have high expectations for him. Vlog is elite in terms of what he does, so if he comes in here slipping, I'm gonna call him on it. But I expect the same thing from myself. If I'm slipping, I'm expecting to get a call like, bro, like you slipping. When you know a person is that good, you don't have low expectations for a high level guy. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so we feel like Canelo was a high level, top 5 type guy, and he's the cash cow of the sport. So I don't think we're wrong for having high expectations of him inside and outside of the ring. I had those same expectations with Floyd and everything else. Edwin, I'm the same guy that said Floyd has never fought under Vada. He's always fought under the one company that has never caught anyone. That's a fact. That is a fact. And I'm a huge Floyd fan. But let's be clear. After the weigh-in for Pacquiao, his living room was full of doctors and he was getting IVs. If that was anybody else, imagine if that was Canelo or anybody else, they would have been called out like nobody's business.
Right.
Trust me, this panel is extremely consistent. Extremely consistent. Because when that happened, I don't think we had the podcast, but we definitely talked
No,
to
we
each
didn't have
other.
the channel.
We didn't even have a channel. I know people that knew me personally. I'm like, yo, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. I call it consistent down and all the way down, bro. All the way down. Said how many tests has he failed since? He failed once and then was cleared. But
That's
see,
true.
listen, that's the expectations we have. If he's going into a fight, we're expecting for him to have a negative test. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you, be honest with you, bro, I'm not giving out no round of applause for that. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing as a professional athlete. You understand what I'm saying? Fight clean. That's all we ask. According to Parker, Usyk turned him down.
Well, when would that have been? Because as soon as he moved up, he was mandatory for AJ. So when would he have turned him down?
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand that one because the one thing about Usyk, since he's going up to heavyweight, everything's been pretty much scripted and to the point. Now, if you're talking about maybe Parker was offered the opportunity before Del Boy took it, maybe that, but I wasn't aware of it. If you can you tell me when? I'm not saying that you're wrong. You may have some information that we don't know about. That's just like if Vlog got information. I mean, shit, he just gave me some information today and I didn't know about it. So I'll acknowledge information that I don't know about, coming from the the right source. So if you could tell me when that happened, we all ears. We all ears, bro. See, that's what I'm saying though, on Vlog being right of the unknown fighters are not that good until you see them, but you praise Zerto, who people discredit as well because they never heard of him.
But this is the difference, though. I don't care what people say. My opinions are based on myself. So at the end of the day, people can discredit them all they like. That's their opinion. I can't control someone else's opinion. I have seen Zerto fight. I've seen him fight so many times.
There's
so
a lot of tape on Zerto.
Bro, he is too big for Canelo. These fights don't even practically make sense for this dude that we are as fans and media clamoring for.
I mean, I get why you say that though, Blunt, but at the same time, bro, I can't say that at the same time, because in the same breath, people call him a 4-weight world champion, or however many weight classes he's 4-weight world champion, and one of the weights was 175. You see my point? So you can't really say he's too big if he's fought at 175 and held a version of the world title before.
Yeah, I just
and so sorry, Jeff. You can't say he's too big for Canelo's too small for 175, but too big for 160. Because Canelo said out of his own mouth he can't meet 160. So if you are too big, you can't meet 160. That means the only weight class you can only fight at is 168. Yeah. I think Jeff's neat.
So what's his natural weight class, Edwin? That's a question for you. What's his natural weight class? If 175 is too big and he can't make 160, and 168 he just came off a European tour, who was he supposed to fight?
Benavidez.
Right. So if that's the case, if all of that is true, then Benavidez is really the only option, unless somebody's coming up from 160. So you got to be careful with that line of statement. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful with that line of statement, man, because if you're really backing them up, like Vlog said, Vlog thinks that those guys are too big for Canelo. So if they're too big for Canelo, we only looking at 168 and 160. And me personally, I think he can make 160. I think that's bullshit. I think that's cap. Me personally.
I think, and the thing is, there's not many dudes I even pick. I make Canelo an underdog against. The only person that I probably pick over Canelo and legitimately pick over Canelo is Beterbiev. He's the only one I will pick over Canelo, and I'll be comfortable picking over Canelo.
What you think about that, Vlog?
Bivol, favorite, bigger, stronger. Zerto, bigger, pressure. Obviously, what's his name again? Beterbiev. Yeah, Benavidez. He gonna kill him. And so what does he do? He go for the smaller guy, bro. So the cherry pick is alive and well over there with Reynoso and them, bro. But yeah, look, you gonna bite a sour cherry this time, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a sour cherry. Upset of the year.
Sour cherry.
No, bro. I heard he's fighting. What's it called? I heard he's gonna fight. He's fighting. They're trying to make the Golovkin fight or Charlo.
That's what I said. It's gonna be a cherry pick, and he gonna bite a sour cherry.
He beats Charlo, bro. He beats Charlo, bro.
The thing is with Charlo, like, he's gonna come in trying to win the fight. Like, as long as he ain't trying to hold no conversations with Canelo during the fight, I'm cool with a Charlo matchup.
I'm cool with it. I'm just saying the question was who's a favorite, and I think he beats Charlo.
Yeah, there's not. Listen, I don't think there's anybody in the sport. If Canelo steps into the ring with him, he's not the favorite.
You said anyone in the sport?
Anybody 160, 168, 175. He's coming in as a betting favorite. He's coming in as a betting favorite.
Okay. After you said anyone in the sport, but I was like,
no. I ain't talking on
I think that at some point in time, you're misleading the betting public. That's what I think you're doing. If you say to me that he's favored over Beterbiev and Bivol, two clearly bigger, stronger guys, more established at the weight and champions.
Can I tell you where you're wrong? Can I tell you where you're wrong from a betting perspective? And we talking gambling talk. So this is a different conversation. We're not talking boxing. We're talking gambling talk. Okay? We're talking gambling talk. If Canelo fights Beterbiev and they make Beterbiev the favorite, Canelo was getting underdog status.
Everybody,
if he wins, everybody and their mother is gonna bet Canelo.
But he's not gonna win. What you talking about? He's not gonna win.
But
again, we're having a gambling. We are having a gambling conversation,
bro. Bookies are looking at it from a how can I maximize my money? At the end of the day, bro, people are if this is how I look at it, Blunt, people are gonna bet on Canelo regardless. So if I make him a minus 100, people are gonna be putting more money on to make money. If I make him a plus 100, the dude's only gonna put on $100. If I make him a minus 100, people will be putting on $200-300 just to make their money back.
That's why I said betting favorite. That's why I said betting favorite. Do I think Beterbiev can beat Canelo? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I think Bivol can beat Canelo? Absolutely. Absolutely. 175. I feel like 168 is his cap. I feel like when him going up to 175 is a problem. It is a problem. So I'm putting on my lab coat. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like, yeah, Beterbiev can definitely beat him. Bivol can definitely beat him. Benavidez can definitely beat him. Zerto has a good shot. But I feel like it's because 168 is his cap. Once he goes on 175, all bets are off. All bets are off. But when you're talking like betting, you can't make Canelo the underdog because if he wins, they get killed money-wise. They get killed.
I got the fight.
Go ahead.
Can Morrell beat him?
No, not ready. Not ready. David Morrell, not ready.
Beat who?
Canelo, not
ready. Are you on crack?
Not ready, bro.
What?
Not ready.
Hell no.
Not ready.
Hell
bro,
no.
He has how many fights he has? How many fights he got? No, don't say it don't matter. Give me a number.
Again, he only got
Look
like
it up.
6 fights. He got 6 fights.
There's no fighter on the planet that got 6 fights.
Okay, bro.
Canelo.
All right.
You are
fighting for a title, bro. Just come on, bro.
Nah, bro.
You asked me.
And he got a belt.
But you asked me a question. You asked me a question and I gave you an answer. There's no guy on this.
I'm going with the style. So I don't care about the fights.
But vlog, there's no guy on this planet that has 6 fights that's going to beat Canelo. I don't care who it is.
Man, that dude, I think that dude.
And we're hold on. Hold on, watch this, Shane. Where do you have David Morrell ranked at?
In the middle at 168, I got him right there at the top.
I've never heard you mention David Morrell's name, bro.
I was bro.
You see his eyes go up like
hold up. I'm a be. This is where I gotta be honest with everybody. You're not letting me be honest. I did videos on him when I was first starting the channel where I was kind of mad that they was fast tracking a guy like this and getting him in this interim sort of title situation with 1-2 fights in. Then you get to seeing the dude's skills after 2-3 fights. Oh, okay. That's why they pushed him like that. So I'm going off of skill, not per se accomplishment. I believe his skill right now at the age he's at, in the body frame and the physicality that he brings to the table, and he can actually box because he's an amateur standout from the Cuban area. So obviously we know what level of IQ they bring to the table with boxing. And physicality-wise, he a problem in that ring, bro.
And you know the thing about them Cuban fighters, when they get under them lights, they shrink. Am I lying?
That's not all of them.
The majority of them do. Those guys. Hold on, Flo. Those guys, right? The majority of those Cuban guys, they shrink under them lights, and they have hell of experience in the pros. So I'm expecting a guy with 6 fights to come in there and put some paws on Canelo, because that's basically what you're telling me.
Yes,
that's crazy. That's crazy. You are the king. You are the king. You are the king.
The version of Canelo y'all just saw. Y'all still ranking him up there like this.
Vlog, but we've been talking 168.
Like pain around in that ring, bro.
We've been talking 168 for probably over 2 months straight. At some point, you have not mentioned David Morrell's name one time. We've been talking about
168 like that.
Hell yeah, we have because Canelo. How long Canelo been on the European tour, vlog?
And David Morrell was over here getting busy on PBC, making his way.
I ain't asked you that.
We've been on that European tour about 5 years.
How long we been talking about Canelo? Shane, have we not been talking about Canelo consistently on this platform for a couple months straight? How many times you heard him mention David Morrell?
But we didn't bring
the first time.
This is the first time, exactly.
Oh my God! All right, bro.
Your rankings, your rankings,
bro.
You
Okay.
update your rankings
Just
about
keep
every
running
2
through them
weeks.
comments.
Every day, goddamn it. Every goddamn day. You goddamn right. You see my top 10? I got fringe guys. I'm booting motherfuckers out the way. I even pulled the homie out the
Listen,
top.
the one thing about Vlog, he is very consistent in his root giving the
Approach.
underdog the opportunity for sure.
No,
That's a
just
fact.
ranking people properly, bro. I'm telling you. Now, when y'all start saying, well, this dude is the business, then we can go back like we had to with
I'll give
Top
it to
Dude
you.
and
And
say,
I'll give it to
yeah,
you.
okay.
And I will give it to you.
And I'm
If he look
admitting
like,
that I
but
wasn't
if
on him
he
at
look
first.
like, but if he looked like hot garbage, answer the phone call. If he looked like hot trash, answer the
I
phone
ain't
call.
running. I ain't
Okay,
running. I ain't
all right,
running.
that's cool.
Right here. Y'all
Chris
are
G, he said, "Let's be real. Canelo was small for 160. I didn't even feel like Canelo was a huge 160. That's why I still think he can make 160. Edwin Castillo, I didn't say Zerto was too big.
No, Blunt said it.
Blunt said it, yeah. He said, who's a sour cherry? Charlo Vlog, he's getting Kirkland by Canelo. That is disrespectful, bro. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful, Edwin. And I gotta stop you there. I kind of let you go, but that's disrespectful. Can you see the link on Parker? I put.
Nah.
I didn't see. You sent the link.
You can't put links in the chat sometimes. They move.
Okay.
Shady.
You had to holler at us. You had to holler at us off camera on that. Beterbiev, Bivol, our next stop on the European tour, as you guys call it. Canelo stops them, but I'm a fanboy for that opinion. Yet you won't hear me call your opinions dumb or argue over these.
I won't call you a fanboy, but I'll bet you $1,000 right now he doesn't stop neither of them. In fact, I'll bet you $5,000 right now he doesn't stop neither of them. I'll bet you 5,000 English sterling pounds that he doesn't stop neither of them. And I'll do that right now.
Edwin, I'm gonna say this, bro. If Canelo stops Bivol and Beterbiev back to back, he's like
GOAT
top.
status.
He's GOAT status.
He's GOAT status, bro.
He's GOAT status. Like he's GOAT status. So that's the top two guys at 175, and he stops both of them in back-to-back fights. He's GOAT status.
That's GOAT status.
That's
bro.
GOAT
Bro,
status.
he can't even. He not really cleaning out 168. So y'all asking him to do something at 175 that he didn't even attempt to do when he first grabbed the belt. And these dudes were way younger, way more inexperienced. He could have probably went around and tried to snatch a couple.
This dude didn't even stop Callum Smith, bro.
He
went 12 rounds
with
with Callum
Anthony
Smith.
Yard at 175.
Huh?
He could have done a lot of different things at 175, but he chose to grab that belt for posterity's sake. And I'm not mad at him. You got to pat your resume the way you pat your resume. That's why they was hypothetically talking that cruiserweight so he could outdo Floyd. You understand what I'm talking about? So
that's a hell of a statement.
No deep waters and ground.
That's
all,
bro. I ain't saying you're a fanboy for saying it. I'm just telling you, please put your money where your mouth is.
But Edwin, there's nothing that Canelo has done at the 175 level for me to believe that.
Bivol has never been down his entire pro career.
No, he been down once. He got hurt once. He got hurt once.
He got hurt, but he didn't go down. That was against Joe Smith. He didn't go down. He got hurt, but he didn't get
Beterbiev.
But Turby, I said Bivol.
Oh, you said Bivol. Okay, I'm sorry.
Bivol has never been down in his entire career.
That's true.
In his entire career, he's never been down. But he's gonna get knocked out by Canelo. Canelo, who went 12 rounds with Callum Smith.
He went 12 with Danny Jacobs too.
12 rounds with Danny Jacobs. 12 rounds with Golovkin. 12 rounds with Erislandi Lara. 12 rounds with Austin Trout.
There's not a lot of I guess real good reasons why I would support that. Like if I've seen some things on tape to actually support your argument, I would. But just when you're fighting high level competition like that, you rarely see the knockout anyway. So for you to say that he's gonna knock out both of them guys, like and to say that's a quote unquote European tour, that is That is high praise. I will tell you that.
That's Eastern European.
Yeah, for sure. He said, Chris G said, I remember when Bivol and Canelo was mentioned, everyone was calling it Canelo keeps going on the European tour.
I didn't call it.
Bivol is far from some European tour.
Firstly, Chris G, bro. The reason how I know that's a lie is because Blunt was the person who came up with the term European tour. No one outside of this channel has ever used the term European tour other than us. Because when it first was mentioned, we were talking about the fact that he fought Yildirim, Callum Smith, and Billy Joe Saunders in close proximity, and that's why he called it a European tour. No one else called it that, and no one in this channel will ever call Bivol a European tour because some people call me a Bivol fanboy. So there's no way I would ever say Bivol's
I've never named Shane Bivol. But you know, we are Bivol fans though. Like we
Laurie does.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
Oh, Laurie, yeah, Laurie.
I'm gonna say this. Now you might be able to try to set up a European tour over there, but you might have some bad lounges to play in. You might not come out with all your equipment. This fucking Russia and shit, baby. Don't go over there fucking with your slip showing. Tim Tunes is gonna pull your card. I'm telling you, that's a problem for this dude, man. Anything we talking about, even the dude I mentioned, Morrell. It's nothing but problems on the horizon. They playing chess. We out here playing checkers.
But chess. You know what? The thing about Canelo is if he could really stay at 168 and really cement something at 168. He could fight David Benavidez and get right. He beats Benavidez, like he gets hella credit for that. If he fights a David Morrell and it's a title defense against a David Morrell, Vlog said he feels like he's worthy of the opportunity. I feel like David Morrell is a good fighter. Do I think he's too green for Canelo? I think so. But if he's a top 10 guy at 168, which David Morrell is at the present time, and it's not the fact that David Morrell is so talented, it's the fact that 168, the cupboard is kind of bare at 168. So I could throw David Morrell in with a Canelo Alvarez. If he made that title defense, yeah, like that's a solid title defense. So he can do a lot just staying where he at. Like he don't have to jump to 160. He don't have to jump to 175. He has all the belts at 168. So he could just accept all comers at 168 and still cement a nice legacy for himself. 175 is a danger zone, bro. It's a danger zone for him. Even Joe Smith are getting some problems.
Facts.
Joe Smith right now gives Canelo problems right now because Joe Smith be putting in that work. He be putting in that work. Canelo ain't gonna be able to rest. He gonna have to fight off the back foot against Joe. You better believe that. You better believe that. Chris G, I heard behind the scenes that Lionel Thompson took the fight with David Morrell and they changed their minds and went to someone else. They only offered Lonnie B 50 G's for it. From what I know about that situation, Chris G, that is true, but it is some other business factors why they walked on that fight. I had to hit your phone off camera for that. It says so basically David Morrell ducked Lonnie B. Not technically. Like I said, there was some other stuff going on in that situation where, you know, that fight didn't happen. Edwin said vlog. I thought, never mind. Bro, he's breaking faces out here. Look up the force that it takes for that. Beterbiev has been dropped. Canelo has eaten Triple G and Kovalev, who just KO'd Yard hardest shots.
So, firstly, I never said Beterbiev hasn't been dropped. I didn't say that.
That was my fault. I thought he said Beterbiev.
Bivol hasn't been dropped.
And Bivol hasn't been dropped.
In terms of Canelo taking Kovalev's hardest shot, he took Kovalev's hardest shot. Kovalev had no rehydration whatsoever. He come off a hard yard fight, a knockout loss to Alida Alvarez, all in close proximity, a court case for some harassment.
Hold on. Is them teardrops in that comment?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm going to say
Kovalev isn't Beterbiev or Bivol. Beterbiev hits harder than Kovalev. That's a fact. Beterbiev beat Kovalev twice in the amateurs.
Chris G, Said yes, they do. The LDBC, like Boxing Eagle, says European Tour. Also, Dante's Boxing Nation says European Tour all the time. Chris G, I'm not saying that that's not true.
They
But
stole
over
it from
here,
me.
the thing is, I can't say whether they stole it or not because I don't know what they do. Like I don't know what they do. I don't know what Dante's
I've
Boxing Nation does.
personally, I've never watched none of
That's
those
what I'm saying.
channels.
I've never. The last time I watched a Boxing Eagle video was back when he had my man on there all the time. I remember like that had been maybe about 5-6 years ago. He had a dude on there. He was interviewing all the time, and the dude was like he wanted to spar Spence, and that's how he kind of got his popularity. But the last time I watched a Boxing Eagle video had been about maybe about 5-6 years ago.
But
And Dante's Boxing Nation, the
in
last time I
terms of
seen him, hold on a second. The last time I seen a Dante's Boxing Nation video was when we was in the same building when we interviewed Jesse. That's the last time I've seen or heard of a Dante's Boxing Nation video. So I'm not saying that they don't say it. I'm just saying they not on our radar for us to say
the
whether
first
they.
time I ever heard it, and to be honest, when Blunt said it, it sounded pretty authentic. I've never heard them say it, but I know for a fact.
I know Blunt ain't watched no Boxing Eagle video and stole one of his lines. I can tell you.
You know, goddamn well. Ever since I've been doing this YouTube shit, bro, you the only motherfucker I ever fuck with, bro. I've never been on that thing with all of these other dudes. I've been tapping in because some of these dudes fuck with us. Stay ready, L-Dub. So salute to my guys. But these other guys that are quote unquote more mainstream or more known, I don't know them. So I ain't stolen.
Yeah, Chris G, we gonna have to take your word for it, bro.
That shit original over here, man.
Yeah. Edwin said it's part of the haters' vocabulary, Shane. What you mean? The guys he didn't stop. Smith shelled up because he felt the power in those shots. Jacobs was a good fight. Canelo displayed incredible head movement. What does that matter? Kovalev signed a contract knowing that.
I'm just telling you that what you're saying doesn't apply. Though the circumstances that applied for Kovalev won't apply for Bivol or Beterbiev, because Bivol and Beterbiev are, for one, they're not coming off a knockout, and for two, they especially Beterbiev has more power than Kovalev. Beterbiev has way more power than Kovalev. It's not even close, bro. Beterbiev has 100% knockout ratio. 100% knockout ratio. Bivol has won more rounds, has a higher win round percentage than any other world champion in the entire sport. And that's a fact. No one has won more rounds at a higher percentage than Bivol. That's a fact.
Yeah, it's just, but those are the two guys that Canelo's going to knock out. That's why I'm saying, like, there's facts that we can put behind this to prove it's kind of hard to believe that Canelo will be able to do that.
Bro,
we're not saying that. We're not saying that he can't. I'm just saying he gonna have to show me.
I'll just say this, bro. We might as well just say Bivol can, Canelo can beat Fury, bro. He can knock out Fury and beat Fury. We might as well say that. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. We might, because we're just Canelo can beat Tyson Fury, bro. A 270-pound Tyson Fury, Canelo can beat. A 6'9" Canelo, Tyson Fury, Canelo can beat. Someone who's a foot taller than you and 100 pounds more than you, Canelo will still beat.
Yeah. Chris G, they talking Benavidez versus Andre. Which
I really hope that fight don't happen. I really hope that fight don't happen.
So, okay, if they talking that, how they gonna do it? Who they sending where?
Why wouldn't you want to see that fight, Shane?
Because unfortunately, bro, Andrade's gonna lose that fight. And he's gonna lose that fight because he's just not big enough. Andrade is not a big 160, much less to move up to 168 and fight the biggest 160. And he's only doing that because he can't get opportunities. And it's annoying because when it's a situation with Rigondeaux, when so many people were turning down Rigondeaux at his weight class, he had to move up weight classes to get a good fight. And I don't like seeing that.
Bro, that's not gonna happen, bro. He can ready fight Zach Parker, and he can ready beat Zach Parker. And but that's the route that he going to get.
I'm gonna say this.
That's the way it's going. This right here doesn't make any sense. Why would you put So you telling me Eddie Hearn sending him to PBC?
No,
I doubt that.
I don't
So
know.
you telling me Al and them sending Benavidez over the Matchroom?
Apparently, WBC and WBO are working out this deal where they're trying to give Canelo one mandatory. But I'm gonna still Jeff's Thunder again. If this dude didn't fight you to become undisputed, why is he gonna fight you as a mandatory? It don't make sense, bro.
Don't make no sense.
That don't make any sense. He's already undisputed. Why would he fight his mandatory to keep a belt that he don't need? He's already undisputed, bro.
Yeah, nobody's
But
gonna
like
force him to do anything.
He hasn't dropped that WBO middleweight title yet.
Because there ain't no mandatory yet, bro. We've seen this guy drop belts numerous times to not fight mandatories, bro.
No, that's in L-Dub saying that's true at the moment. The key word is at the moment. He has no reason. He has no reason to drop it right now. But if Andre was to become mandatory, that belt's getting dropped off in front of headquarters.
Just like
that's the scenario to do the title eliminator between Zach Parker and Andre for the WBO route towards Canelo.
That's correct. But that's what I'm saying. The bottom line is Andre will fight Canelo without no belt on the line. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the bottom line is he's never going to get in the ring with Canelo. I don't care what status he has. Canelo don't like the matchup. He don't like the matchup. He's not taking it.
Bro, Blunt, you're not understanding what I'm saying, bro. If this dude didn't fight you for undisputed, why is he going to fight you as a man?
I get it. Shane, I get it. I'm just saying that's the route that's really out there. This is some late information, and I read it.
If I was Andre, bro, I would just fight. Try to fight Eubank Jr. and try and get a Golovkin fight or Murata fight.
Bro, Chris, think about it this way, bro. And I told you Benavidez will win that fight off camera because I don't think, like I said, Andre is just
not big enough.
It's not big enough fighter. But I think it'll be a close decision, but I think he will lose. Now, imagine if Andre beats Benavidez. You thought he was the boogeyman before. Bro. That's not a ringing endorsement to get a Canelo fight if you beat Benavidez.
Bro.
So that's what I'm saying. You got to be careful with these questions, bro. You got to be careful.
Look at it this way. That's a fight that really don't have no ending result. You take that fight, you win.
Listen,
where are you left at? You still
winner. Listen, Vlog, you're 100% right. The winner
He's in a worse
position. They're in a worse
position than they were before.
Actually, I can make an argument the loser of that fight would be in a better position than the winner. I can make.
You can make that argument. Bro.
I can definitely make that argument.
Genuinely make that argument.
I can make that argument. That's why that fight don't make any sense. Edwin Castillo, okay, Shane. When Canelo eats them, smiles and turns, better be in the sand. Holla. Bro, listen, we are open to all bets.
He beat Fury. I already told you that, bro. He beat Fury. He's gonna beat Tyson Fury, bro.
I'm definitely accepting come my way when this Charlo thing get inked out, bro.
Yeah, come holler at us. You know.
I'll bet on Canelo for the Charlo fight.
I'm laying terms. I got distant bets. He is not knocking Charlo out, bro. It's not happening.
Edwin said that, Chris G. Exactly, bro. When I first came here, I was cautious of LDBC. It's not a fact. Shame because the resume of Beterbiev and Kovalev says otherwise. I'm not saying Beterbiev isn't good, but the discredit for beating Kovalev as a pro means more.
No, but firstly, the resume doesn't say the same thing because what Kovalev has on the resume is when he fought Canelo, he was knocked out. He had been knocked out clean by Alida Alvarez. When Beterbiev hasn't been knocked out by nobody. Beterbiev has 100% knockout ratio. Kovalev doesn't have that. Kovalev was also stopped by Andre Ward. So to me, bro, I'm not. We've seen enough chinks. At that time, a lot of people knew that Kovalev was weak to the body. After the Andre Ward fight, we knew he was weak to the body. After the
So
yard
hold
fight,
up.
he knew he was weak to the
Hold on.
body.
Let me add this. The scenario of how the fights got staggered also helped the younger man in Canelo. So a lot of things helped him that night, bro. And y'all not really taking that into consideration when you elevate him actually going and grabbing this old dude belt who he mugged in the alleyway.
Hey, Edwin, again, this is us. And I think this is why you come here. You know, when you come here, we don't leave no stone unturned. Like, where else are you gonna go that's gonna talk about the amount of time Kovalev had to get ready for that fight? Nowhere. Right? No,
So the fight
nowhere.
was announced
Nowhere.
before the Anthony Yard fight even happened.
Right. So we bring up every single aspect to come up with a final analysis. That's why you come here. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why you come here at the end of the day. Chris G, they said after Benavidez versus Lemieux and Andre versus Parker, they'll make Benavidez Andre for a WBC, WBO mandatory.
Yeah.
The
I heard.
only way that fight makes sense is unless an actual belt is on the line. Forget a mandatory, because he's not gonna fight neither one of them. Forget the mandatory. That fight don't make no sense unless there's an actual belt on the line. So if they sign up for a mandatory spot, that's a dumbass move. Both of them. Andre is huge for 160. What you mean?
No, he's not.
Nah, he's not a small 160, but he's not no huge.
I mean, he's tall and he's got long arms, but if you look at the size of his legs, the size of his arms, he's not necessarily big.
He's a natural 160. I've never heard anyone say, and we're Andre fans. I've never jumped on camera and said, yo, like, he's bullying guys at the weight. Andre don't bully nobody. He skills everybody.
You know what he'll look like? Let me say this, Edwin. He'll look like how Mario's looked at welterweight.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
You probably won't see the difference, but you'll see it in the fight performance.
Correct.
You probably won't see it stature-wise, but you'll see it in how he fights, what points he starts to get tired, because we know he done had some, you know what I mean, some leg issues in the last couple of fights.
Yeah, that's why I said, look at his legs, bro. His legs ain't the stabiliest.
Hey, Edwin, check this out. Just because you are big don't mean you fight big. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he don't throw his weight around. So even though you may think he's a big 160, his style says, I'm a pure boxer and I'm going to show you these skills. He don't say that I'm a bully you.
It was very similar to when dudes were talking about AJ and Usyk, and they were saying AJ is just gonna bully Usyk. I'm like, AJ don't fight big, bro.
He don't fight big.
Fight like a
He don't throw his weight around. He don't throw his weight around. Like, that's just what it is. Andre is 6 feet with a 74-inch reach. Benavidez is 6'1" with a 75, maybe 76-inch reach. Chris G, that is true. But the thing is, Benavidez fights big. That's the point.
I know, but you look at Benavidez, bro, you can clearly see there's a difference, bro.
But and the thing is, I think Benavidez is taller than 6'1".
Andre's the same height as Beterbiev. Are we saying that Beterbiev? Are we gonna say Andre and Beterbiev are similar in size?
Yeah. So Chris, the measurables are comparable, but the way they fight, Benavidez fights. He uses his size more than Andre does. It's how you use your physical attributes, not the fact that you have them.
Even Chisora is 6'1". We saying Chisora is the same size as Andrade.
Chris, I'll throw you one. Bro. Paul Williams. Paul Williams was hella tall. Did he use his height? Nope. Did he use his reach?
Hey, bro.
Nope.
I'm gonna slide out this side door, man.
We getting ready to get up off this joint. This joint. I'm gonna run through these last couple. Chris G, they almost the same size. Yeah, physically, yes, but they don't fight. They don't use their size the same way. I'll retire as a boxing fan if Andre beats Benavidez. I was kind of surprised you even brought that up, bro. Edwin, bro, my money is gonna be going to Charlo hospital bills and his GoFundMe. Rumors are that it's already up now. Go fund Charlo because it's gonna be expensive. Vlog. He's Jamal Lion only. Charlo. Wow.
Jamal's gonna lose that fight.
Hey,
bro.
Edwin, can you do us a favor and jump on the show with us one day, bro? Like we would love to have you on because I
I hope
actually
it's
want to
not
hear.
about Canelo, bro.
No, I want to hear the voice that's behind the
The
Canelo.
Canelo love.
Yeah, I need to hear it. Even if you don't want to show your face, that's cool. But I need to hear it.
Canelo beats Tyson Fury, bro, and I'm sticking to that. To the
Listen,
day I die, I'm gonna stick to that.
listen, we gonna jump up off this joint, man. Almost 2 hours strong. Tomorrow, I think we need to touch on Spence Ugas that just got announced. We'll find some other stuff to talk about, but we ain't really get into
It
that
Wait,
comes
what
around.
fight is
today.
this
Yeah, it's
weekend?
a
Danny
couple
Jacobs
fights.
is this weekend as well.
Jacobs
Yeah,
and Jacobs and John Ryder.
MTK, they got a fight card on Friday.
I think MTK got a fight card on
Shoot us
Friday.
a link. If you can give me a link.
Who's fighting?
I gotta find out. I gotta look it up.
Dig 'em, and L Dub just did a joint on it yesterday. I was listening to him earlier.
I'll
Well,
go look.
Yeah, we'll go
Dig 'em
check it
and
out.
Dennis. That's the main event.
Said Benavidez is a weight bully who ran to the gym when WBC put him in there in the light heavyweight rankings. Chris G, I love this guy. Edwin, yeah, y'all both, they love Canelo. Excuse me. Edwin, I don't want Shane blowing a gasket. If you come on this show, Shane gonna blow a gasket. I'm telling you that now. So
all I'm gonna say to Edwin is Canelo beats Tyson Fury. That's my statement for this point on. That's what I'm saying. I'm a Canelo fan. Canelo will knock Tyson Fury out clean within 3 rounds.
Hey Shane,
3 rounds.
Shane, give him your social media, bro.
I'm Shane the number 1
on Instagram. Vlog, give it up.
Boxing First, the number 1 ST vlog on Instagram. Boxing First Vlog, the way you see it on the screen, on Twitter. Tap in with me, man. I'm just all over the board trying to show love to the sport, you know what I mean, and elevate my game as I do it.
Absolutely. I'm all over the place, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, G5Jeff TV, Twitch, G5Jeff TV, website, G5JeffTV.com. Join the Prediction Fantasy League. $550 to the winner of the league. Congrats to Shane and Ashley for what they did Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Perfect predictions across the board. And we'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk about Spence and Ugas. We'll get more information on the MTK card going on this weekend, and we'll show Danny Jacobs and John Ryder some love as well. So on behalf of Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt, aka Blunt Bayless, aka Mr. 1K, and VP Shane, aka Ice Cold Shane, and G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru, on behalf of the staff. This is episode 56 of the Goodfellas podcast. We will see you guys tomorrow.